And each year, the World Economic Forum publishes a survey of expert views on what could trigger a global crisis in the year ahead. In 2024, extreme weather was ranked the #1 risk to global stability. In 2025, it slipped to second place behind state-based armed conflict. And this year, climate risks have fallen to a distant third, as concerns about geo-economic confrontation take the top spot. Only 8% of experts now see climate change as the most likely trigger of a global crisis in 2026. And despite this shift in perception, governments are continuing to pursue net zero targets, increasingly turning to carbon credits as a key tool.
So there are some industries that will continue to pollute, one being airline. Every airline that takes off will pollute. These are known as hard to abate. Steel, they cannot change their boiler tomorrow. So what happens is there are other companies in solar space who actually absorb carbon dioxide. It's called biochar. So when you reduce 1 ton of carbon dioxide, it gets converted to a carbon credit.
Right.
The polluters who cannot reduce themselves buy from people who reduce this 1 ton of carbon dioxide. This is simply what carbon credit mechanism means.
Well, supporters argue credits can accelerate climate action and channel funding to developing economies. Listen to this.
So here we've been working in the space of sustainability for some time now, and I think with COP30 over a month back, we expect the world going towards sustainability, and we expect people to understand what carbon is, what carbon crediting is, and why do you need to offset carbon credit.
Alongside carbon markets, land sustainability is emerging as a central theme. Protecting forests, restoring degraded land, and improving agricultural practices are now seen as critical to both emission reduction and food security, especially as climate pressures intensify.
This year, for the desertification, I think that it is getting into a very interesting piece of argument that it all interconnects and relates together, and we cannot continue a world in isolation. So you cannot isolate climate change from biodiversity, from land degradation. And what we're trying to do right now with the COP16 presidency, is to unify the language around land. So the land would be at the heart of the discussion of climate change and biodiversity, right, because there is a simple fact that you cannot get food without land.
Now, ultimately, the choices made now about energy, finance, and cooperation will shape not only climate outcomes, but economic resilience and global stability for decades to come.